Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me and, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Coming back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, you folks, I'm Platter Videos, series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff, and folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. My lips is spicy. But we'll get to that in a moment. It's a super simple format, folks. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink stuff. I'm going to yam around about it. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm in my back room, which means I got Peter Can Thunderbolt poster behind me. I got some Marvel figures up there, which at some point are realistically going to have to come down. I'm going to have to move them, which is going to be a huge pain in the ass. Not because it's just because originally this room was going to be my nerd room. That was the plan. But then I got animals, and it became my de facto animal room. Because I have hamsters and a hedgehog. I also have a cat, but the cat isn't allowed in this room for obvious reasons. So these are like vestiges of the nerd room thing, and it's like, nah, I'm gonna have to move the stuff eventually. But for now, on top of that, folks, oh yeah, crabby old letters off to the side, out of frame at the moment. Aside from that, folks, what else am I doing? Well, I'm wearing a super cool shirt, folks. When I wear super cool shirts, I like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today, folks? Well, boom, it's my Bloodywood shirt, my 9-inch non-shirt, which just I love. Because Bloodywood's a band out of India. Mix of sort of, they're a metal band, sort of mix of rap and, sort of more traditional metal elements, as well as like traditional Indian elements. I fucking love them. They're an awesome band. I got to see them. This was their first tour to America. And it was great show. The only thing that sucked was that one of the singers at the time was fighting a stomach infection, so he wasn't actually able to perform that night. But it was still a really good show. I actually have some videos from that show on here, just in case you're interested, on the channel. And I'll have some more sometime tomorrow, because I'm actually going to see them for their second USA tour tomorrow. But anyway, what am I trying for you folks? What are we doing? Well, folks, like I said, my lips are spicy, and that's because the review I just did before this was some spicy ramen from Sam Yang, so go watch that one. I have an entire playlist. I need something to cool off, folks. Something rather peachy. Ha 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 ha. It's a thing. You can, it doesn't. Yeah, folks, it's Old Towne E. I mean, you can call it town all you want, but at the end of the day, if you put an E. No, it's Old Towne Beverages with great taste, Peachy Peach, which I believe Old Towne is... It says no refill specifically. Made in the USA, that's good. It's made out of Michigan? I would kind of think, man, like, you got the Chicago skyline here, man, with the water tower and the Sears Tower. All right, I mean, good on you, Michigan. I don't know, maybe they were originally out of Chicago or whatever. But yes, so I have a little thing with this. I've already reviewed one of these. It was from, it was the Tropical Punch. And I went through a little bit of history that I have with this brand. Because back in them thar days, when I was a small lad, we had a supermarket in the town I grew up in. And they had a vending machine where you could go over there and get cans of Old Towne soda for $0.25. Not only was that awesome, but it was like the first time when I started seeing like weird flavors of soda. I'd never seen a tropical flavored soda before. There's some other ones. I'm going to review more of them. But one of the ones that was the most interesting to me was Peachy Peach. So when I stopped getting the tropical one, not because I disliked it, I just wanted to try other flavors. The very next one I tried was Peachy Peach. So I've got some nostalgia going into this. But let's see if the nostalgia manages to go over there and hold up. Are you still good? Yeah, you're still good. Open. I hope I like it because I have a 2-liter. I found this randomly at a gas station, going to drop off a coworker. So now I have a spot to get it if I like it. Smells kind of peachy. Okay. things I really like, things I don't like. Similar to my tropical punch one, which go watch that review, but I like the peach flavor in this. I really do. Thing with peach is that as a flavor, it's great, but if you overdo it, it wrecks the whole experience. They haven't overdone it with this. It's I wouldn't call it subtle, but it's a somewhat more reserved peach flavor. It's not like kicking you in the face with peach flavor, which for some people, that might be appealing. For me, not so much. I like it to be a little bit more held back. I feel like once it reaches a certain point, it kind of takes on a weird element that I'm not a big fan of. But this, love it. It's mellow. It's a very mellow and easy to drink. Which, depending on the fruit that you're using, especially like citrus ones, orange sodas and stuff like that, they have a lot of bite to them, typically. This one, there's not a lot of bite, which, depending on what you want. But for a peach soda, I think that's great. I don't want a lot of bite. I just want to be able to enjoy the peach flavor. This does that really well. However, just as with the tropical soda, it kind of reaches a point when it stops being as nice as it was before, and it sort of takes on an artificial kind of chemically taste. And that's a shame, because that definitely puts a damper on it. The aftertaste is not great. It's not horrendous, okay? I'll let me emphasize that. I've had way worse aftertaste with different sodas, okay? Like, way, way worse. Some that almost completely ruin the experience. This, for me, is not ruining the experience, but it does put a cap on how much I can enjoy it. Because as I'm drinking it, it's tasty, I'm enjoying it. I got that nostalgia, I've got that whole thing in my head, that memory of, it being the summertime. And, I would go out early in the morning. I would walk along the highway to go to the Toys R Us to go over there and play Pokemon Snap on the N64 display models. I did that for days until eventually they told me to stop. And I remember coming back one day and it was friggin' boiling hot, man, and I wanted a soda. I had no money. And whilst I was walking by the supermarket, I found a quarter on the ground. And I went inside, I got myself some Peachy Peach soda. But then there's reality. And reality is rarely as good as your memories. It really... It's not as abrasive as with the Tropical Punch. With the Tropical Punch, I think part of that was intended to be a feature. Versus just being, something that I personally didn't feel was the best aspect of the drinking experience. With this, it's not as heavy, but it is there, it is noticeable. And it's a shame, because I was really hoping that this would, be redeeming of the other one, where it's okay, maybe just that one has it. It's no, it appears that that's going to be a bit of a tendency. The only real saving grace that I could say in terms of the aftertaste, maybe it's better out of a can. Sometimes that's the case, man. I mean, plastic is not ideal for, it's, beneficial in terms of, it's useful to do it, but cans are just way better, in terms of the flavor and the overall drinking experience. Maybe if I get a can of this stuff, I'll try it again. But, overall, two questions have to be asked, folks. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes, kind of. Just like with the Tropical Punch, even though it doesn't quite live up to my memory of it, there's enough there for me to attach myself to, not only in terms of just nostalgia, but also in terms of just I do genuinely enjoy the flavor. After I got through doing the review of the Tropical Punch soda, that became my go-to beverage for the next couple days. I was just going with it because I did enjoy it. I do still enjoy this. I think it's a good peach soda. You don't get a lot of peach sodas, and this is actually one that I can get along with. As for recommending it, though, obviously I'm giving it a couple extra bonus points because I do have those memories attached to it. Strictly for flavor, I think the flavor is good. The aftertaste is not the best. There's definitely better peach sodas available, but I think I got this entire 2 liter for $1.29. So, it's a little bit on the cheaper side. And for what it is, I mean, I personally still enjoyed it. I think there's other people who would enjoy it too, if you're just maybe willing to look past, just the somewhat funky aftertaste. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here, folks. Number 1, have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest week, monumental rest month, stupendous rest year. Folks, you can go there and have yourselves a truly peachy rest of your life. Final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, it's not always the easiest thing to do in the world. Trust me. I wish it was, folks. I wish it was. Okay, but it's just not. It's just not all the time. Okay, I'm over there. I got concerts coming up, and, I'm all excited and everything. I had a crappy night at work. Crappy 2 nights in a row at work, man. Just lots of frustrating things and mistakes being made and shit that I had to go over there and apologize for, and some of which weren't really my fault, but I was like, all right, I'll take the hit because, we work as a team, and I'm, like, supposed to be the guy in charge of the team. So it's like, yeah, no, we fucked up. We fucked up. Not he fucked up. But anyway, when we find ourselves in situations like that, and trust me, I genuinely do try to do this in my own life, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you don't have any particular nostalgia for Old Towne Beverages, the way that I do. But maybe you do for something else. Maybe there's some drink, doesn't even have to be a soda. Maybe there's just some beverage out there that you're just like, you know what, man? You know what? I need to get me some of that. So then you go over there, you go to like corner markets, and they don't have it, and you go over there, you talk to like your brother, and you're like, hey, you remember that stuff? And he's like, I told you not to call me at 3 a.m. And you're like, hey, you always sucked. I didn't like you as older brother anyway. And, then there's some feuding, and Thanksgiving will be awkward. But as it turns out, maybe one of your uncles shows up with that drink that you like. And then you're like, I love you, Uncle Fred. Or conversely, you should love your Uncle Fred as long as he's, good dude. I am a big proponent. Don't love people just because they're family. I have a kick-ass family. Love them. They're fantastic. But there's a point of contention. I'm just saying. They're good folks. I like them. Conversely, you know what? Just, hey, have yourself a great Thanksgiving with whatever beverages you want. Just don't ruin it. Don't get loaded and fuck it all up for everybody. Bye.